Hamilton's much-anticipated move to the iconic Italian team has taken an unexpected turn. Recent events have cast a shadow over the seven-time world champion's debut, particularly in light of his performance compared to teammate Charles Leclerc. On February 21st, 2025, Ferrari conducted a private filming day at their Fiorano test track. This event marked the first opportunity for both Hamilton and Leclerc to drive the new SF25, Ferrari's challenger for the 2025 season. The significance of this shakedown cannot be overstated, as it represented the only running time the drivers would have with the new car before the official pre-season test in Bahrain, scheduled to begin on February 26th. According to unofficial data reported by Spanish publication Marca, Hamilton's fastest lap at Fiorano was 0.8 seconds slower than Leclerc's best time. This substantial gap has raised eyebrows across the paddock and sparked intense discussions about Hamilton's ability to adapt quickly to his new environment. It's crucial to approach these lap times with a degree of caution. The shakedown was conducted using special Pirelli tires that are not representative of those to be used during the 2025 season. Furthermore, Ferrari opted not to release an official report of the session, classifying it as a private filming day. Nevertheless, the gap between the two drivers has become a topic of significant interest in the Formula One community. This performance difference at Fiorano is not an isolated incident. It follows a pattern that emerged during a tire test in Barcelona earlier this month. On the first day of that test, Hamilton managed to outpace Leclerc by a narrow margin of 0.130 seconds. However, the tables turned dramatically on the second day, with Hamilton trailing Leclerc by an alarming 1.788 seconds. Pirelli, the tire manufacturer, emphasized that these lap times should not be given undue significance, citing the different work programs carried out by the teams during the test. A Pirelli spokesperson stated, "The published lap times carried no real significance given the different work programs carried out by Ferrari and McLaren, who were also on track at the Spanish Grand Prix venue." Despite this caveat, the consistent trend of Hamilton lagging behind Leclerc has not gone unnoticed. A report from Italian outlet Auto Racer provides additional context to the Fiorano test results. It suggests that the two Ferrari drivers were operating on separate programs during the shakedown. Leclerc, with his extensive experience at Ferrari, was able to push the car's limits immediately, even though pure performance was not the priority of his run. In contrast, Hamilton's main objective was to build confidence and gain a clearer understanding of his requirements from both the team and the car as he prepares for the upcoming season. This difference in approach could partly explain the gap in lap times, but it does not entirely alleviate concerns about Hamilton's adaptation to the Ferrari machine. The situation is further complicated by Hamilton's recent performance history. During his final season with Mercedes in 2024, the British driver struggled with one-lap pace, qualifying behind his teammate George Russell in 19 out of 24 races. This trend culminated in Hamilton's stark admission at the penultimate round of the 2024 season in Qatar, where he conceded that he is not fast anymore. These words from Hamilton, a driver who has redefined success in Formula One, sent shockwaves through the sport. They also provide context for his current struggles at Ferrari, suggesting that his difficulties may not be solely related to adapting to a new team and car. In stark contrast, Leclerc has established himself as one of the fastest qualifiers on the current Formula One grid. Since joining Ferrari in 2019, the Monegasque driver has secured an impressive 26 pole positions. This tally puts him 4 ahead of two-time world champion Fernando Alonso on the all-time list, despite Alonso's much longer career, which began in 2001. However, it's worth noting that Leclerc's pole position prowess has not always translated into race victories. To date, he has only managed to convert his qualifying performances into 8 race wins. This statistic pales in comparison to Hamilton's record-breaking 105 career victories, the most recent of which came at Spa in July 2024. The age difference between the two drivers adds another layer of intrigue to their developing rivalry. At 40 years old, Hamilton faces the challenge of competing against a teammate who is over a decade his junior. Leclerc, who will turn 28 towards the end of the 2025 season, represents the new generation of Formula One talent. Despite this significant age gap, Leclerc himself has downplayed its potential impact on their intra-team battle. When asked about whether his youth might provide an advantage over the course of a physically demanding 24-race calendar, Leclerc responded, I don't know. I don't know what it's like to be 12 years older, so it's difficult to judge. But I mean, honestly, what I've seen from Lewis is in extremely good shape, so I don't think that plays a part in it at all. Leclerc elaborated on his perspective, saying, I think he's also extremely motivated to be starting this new adventure in his career, so I don't think age will have to do anything with what we'll see on the track. This assessment of Hamilton's physical condition aligns with the British driver's reputation for maintaining peak fitness throughout his career. However, the mental challenge of adapting to a new team environment after over a decade with Mercedes cannot be underestimated. Hamilton has openly acknowledged the difficulties he faces in acclimatizing to Ferrari's way of working. I'm still getting used to a completely new car, a completely new way of working, he told media, including TotalMotorsport.com. This transition marks a significant departure from his previous team switch in 2013 when he moved from McLaren to Mercedes, both of which use Mercedes power units. The shift to Ferrari requires Hamilton to adapt to a different power unit, steering system, and even basic operational elements such as switch positions on the car's controls. The software systems at Ferrari also differ from what Hamilton was accustomed to at Mercedes. These technical adjustments, combined with the need to learn new terminology and development approaches specific to the Italian team, present a formidable challenge for the 7-time world champion. I definitely have to adapt my driving style, Hamilton acknowledged, highlighting the comprehensive nature of the changes he needs to make. The geographical relocation from Mercedes Brackley base to Ferrari's headquarters in Maranello, a distance of 853 miles, adds some complexity to Hamilton's transition. The British driver elaborated on the specific challenges he faces. He said, the steering system presents a particular adjustment, being completely different from what I experienced at Mercedes. Basic operational elements, like switch positions on the car's controls, have required familiarization, while the software systems also differ from my previous team. Despite these challenges, Hamilton maintains an optimistic outlook. He said, I actually feel quite good in the car, and I just take it all step by step. The 105th-time Grand Prix winner remains focused on preparing for the Australian Grand Prix, where he aims to secure his 9th pole position at the circuit. Social media reactions to reports of Hamilton's slower pace have been mixed. While some fans express worry about Hamilton's form, others caution against reading too much into early test results. One fan commented, "Man knows he's washed," while another wrote, "The whole world loves Ferrari, and we all wish that, but these are just consumer statements." A more critical user suggested, basically, he means he's like a second a lap slower than Charles. He's so washed. Some fans, however, took a more balanced view. One user wrote, typical negativity about Lewis again. Everyone knows he is getting to grips with new machinery compared to Charles, who has been there for years now. Another fan encouraged, I expected way worse. Keep progress, Lewis. Red Bull Racing, the dominant force in Formula One for the past few years, finds itself in a precarious position as we approach the 2025 season. The team that seemed invincible not too long ago is now facing a series of challenges that could potentially derail their championship aspirations. Let's explore why things have taken a turn for the worse for the Austrian outfit. Red Bull's 2024 campaign was a roller coaster ride. The season started with a bang as Max Verstappen clinched victory in 7 of the first 10 races. The RB20 was hailed as the class of the field, and it seemed like Red Bull was set for another year of utter domination. However, as we've learned time and time again in Formula One, fortunes can change rapidly. After Verstappen's 7th win at the Spanish Grand Prix, Red Bull hit a rough patch. The team endured a shocking 10-race winless drought, a stark contrast to their early season form. This sudden drop in performance can be attributed to the car's development trajectory and some key personnel changes. One of the most significant blows to Red Bull's technical team was the departure of Adrian Newey, widely regarded as one of the greatest designers in Formula One history. Newey's move to Aston Martin sent shockwaves through the paddock, and its effects were felt almost immediately. In an interview with Auto, Motor and Sport, Newey shed light on the issues plaguing Red Bull even before his departure.
I think Red Bull, from what I could see, The car was already...
This admission raises questions about the team's development direction and their ability to maintain their competitive edge without Newey's guiding hand. Newey's departure isn't an isolated incident. The team has also lost other key personnel, including influential sporting director Jonathan Wheatley and chief strategist Will Courtney. These exits have left Red Bull in a state of flux, forcing them to restructure their trackside operations for the 2025 season. Christian Horner, Red Bull's team principal, has been vocal about the challenges they faced with the RB20. He revealed that an upgrade introduced around the Imola Grand Prix made the car far more peaky in its performance, with a very narrow operating window. This characteristic made the car incredibly difficult to drive consistently, even for a driver of Verstappen's caliber. Horner explained, "When you got it into that window, the 4 straight laps in Austria, for example, that were all good enough for pole, it was very much in that window. If you stepped a millimeter either side of it, it became much more of a problematic car to drive, which Max was able to mask and drive around, and I think that's what hurt Checo Perez particularly. It's that window was so narrow." This narrow operating window not only affected the team's performance, but also highlighted the growing gap between Verstappen and his teammate, Sergio Perez. While Max could somehow extract performance from the difficult car, Perez struggled significantly, eventually leading to his replacement by Liam Lawson for the 2025 season. As Red Bull prepares for the 2025 season, their focus has shifted from outright performance gains to improving the car's drivability. Horner emphasized that the team's engineers have been working tirelessly over the winter to broaden the RB21's operating window. Horner stated, "And so I think what the engineers have been very much focused on over the winter is how you broaden that window. Not necessarily adding ultimate performance, but just broadening the window so that you've got, across the different challenges and circuits that we visit, a much wider operating window." This approach suggests that Red Bull is prioritizing consistency over peak performance, a strategy that could prove crucial in what's expected to be a highly competitive season. However, with McLaren and Ferrari making significant strides in their development programs, Red Bull's dominance is far from guaranteed. While Red Bull grapples with their immediate challenges, a potentially bigger threat looms on the horizon: the 2026 regulation changes. These new rules will bring about a significant shift in the sport's technical landscape, particularly in the power unit department. Red Bull Powertrains, the team's in-house engine division, will be tasked with developing their first Formula One power unit from scratch. This is a monumental undertaking, especially considering they'll be competing against established manufacturers like Mercedes, Ferrari, and Honda. Reports from Italian outlet Autosprint suggest that Red Bull is already facing performance and reliability concerns with their 2026 engine. The report states, "Performance and reliability concerns are emerging with the new Red Bull engine. Drawing conclusions would be premature, but it would not be a surprise if the Milton Keynes team are playing catch-up. While it's too early to draw definitive conclusions, these rumors have added to the air of uncertainty surrounding the team's long-term prospects. The challenge of developing a competitive power unit without any prior experience in this area cannot be overstated." Amidst all these challenges, the biggest question mark hangs over the future of Max Verstappen. The 4-time world champion has been the linchpin of Red Bull's success, but his patience may be wearing thin if the team can't provide him with a competitive car. Verstappen's father, Jos, has been vocal about his son's need for a race-winning car. There have been whispers of potential moves to Mercedes or even the emerging Aston Martin team, where he could reunite with Adrian Newey. Christian Horner, however, remains confident in Verstappen's commitment to Red Bull. He stated, "He's recently made that statement that he loves working within the team and has every intention of doing so." But in the high-stakes world of Formula One, intentions can change quickly if results don't materialize. As we approach the 2025 season, Red Bull finds itself at a crucial juncture. The team's ability to address the RB20 shortcomings, successfully integrate new personnel, and lay the groundwork for the 2026 regulations will determine whether they can maintain their position at the pinnacle of Formula One. The increased wind tunnel time due to their third-place finish in the 2024 Constructors' Championship could be a double-edged sword. While it provides more development opportunities, it also highlights how far they've fallen from their dominant position. Pierre Wash, Red Bull's technical director, summed up the team's cautious optimism. He said, "It is potentially a big advantage for 2026, and I hope that we use it properly. That is not how it works in Formula One, but it could be an advantage, and we have to use it well. It is a positive aspect of our position, so it can be quite positive." Red Bull faces a delicate balancing act between focusing on the 2025 season and preparing for the radical changes coming in 2026. Wash elaborated on this challenge, saying, "The balancing act will depend massively on what you find as well. If you find a lot for 2026, then the temptation is there to put a lot of effort on 2026. But if we have a chance to fight for the championship in 2025, and I think we will, then you will never throw away a championship. It will be a difficult decision for sure. We will go with a strategy at the beginning of the season, and that strategy has a massive chance to change."
Radio check.
Yes, loud and clear. Box.
Williams Racing has secured a game-changing partnership with tech giant Atlassian, injecting millions into the struggling team, and it's set to revolutionize their future. But this deal, combined with Santander's backing, could catapult Carlos Sainz into podium contention, transforming Williams from backmarkers to serious midfield threats. Is this the start of an epic comeback? Before we jump into the topic, take a moment to hit that subscribe button. This potential partnership marks a significant milestone for Williams, a team that hasn't tasted victory since 2012 and finished a disappointing 9th out of 10 teams in the 2024 Constructors' Championship. The injection of funds and technological expertise from Atlassian could be the catalyst Williams needs to climb back up the competitive ladder. Atlassian, the company behind popular project management software like Jira and Confluence, is no small player. With a multi-billion-dollar valuation, their involvement in Formula One signifies a major commitment to the sport and to Williams' future. The exact financial details of the deal haven't been disclosed, but industry insiders suggest it's a multi-million-dollar agreement that could rival some of the biggest sponsorships in F1. This new partnership comes hot on the heels of Williams' recent deal with Santander, announced shortly after the 2024 season finale in Abu Dhabi. The Spanish banking giant, which previously backed Ferrari during Carlos Sainz's tenure there, has now followed the Spanish driver to his new team. This double sponsorship coup demonstrates Williams' renewed ability to attract major corporate partners, a crucial factor in F1's high-stakes financial game. The team has been operating under significant financial constraints for years, which has directly affected their on-track performance. Limited resources have hampered their ability to keep pace with rapid technological advancements in areas like aerodynamics, material science, and data analysis. The 2024 season saw Williams struggling with an overweight FW46 car, costing them valuable lap time and performance. The Atlassian sponsorship could be the key to unlocking Williams' potential across several critical areas. First and foremost is aerodynamics, the lifeblood of modern F1 cars. With increased funding, Williams can invest in advanced wind tunnel testing and computational fluid dynamic simulations. This could lead to optimized front and rear wing designs, improved underbody aerodynamics, and more efficient side pods, all contributing to reduced drag and increased downforce. Weight reduction is another priority area where the new sponsorship could make a significant difference. Formula One cars operate on a knife edge when it comes to weight, with every gram potentially affecting performance. The influx of resources could allow Williams to explore next-generation carbon fiber composites, advanced alloys, and cutting-edge 3D printed components. These innovations could help create a lighter, more agile car without compromising structural integrity. Power unit integration and cooling systems are also likely to see improvements. While Williams uses Mercedes power units, how these engines integrate with the chassis can greatly impact overall performance. Efficient cooling systems, optimized energy recovery setups, and strategic exhaust placements are all areas where additional investment could yield significant gains. This is particularly crucial for races in hot climates like Bahrain and Abu Dhabi, where Williams has previously struggled with performance drops due to suboptimal cooling. In the data-driven world of modern F1, enhanced analytics capabilities could be a game changer for Williams. Atlassian's expertise in data management and collaborative tools could help the team streamline communication between engineers, strategists, and drivers. This could lead to more accurate pit stop timing, faster responses to changing track conditions, and overall improved race strategies. The technical improvements facilitated by the Atlassian deal dovetail perfectly with Williams' latest driver acquisition, Carlos Sainz. The Spanish driver, a four-time race winner, joins the team after a stellar 2024 season with Ferrari that saw him claim victories in Australia and Mexico. Sainz's move to Williams, announced last summer, was seen as a major coup for the team, who beat out competitors like Audi F1 and Alpine for his signature. Sainz's role in Williams' resurgence cannot be overstated. His recent test session at the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya provided valuable feedback that is already shaping the team's development plans for the FW47, their 2025 challenger. Team principal James Valls praised Sainz's ability to pinpoint key areas for improvement, describing him as a vital part of the team's long-term success strategy. The partnership between Sainz and his new teammate, Alex Albon, is another exciting prospect for Williams. Albon, who showed flashes of brilliance despite Williams' limitations in 2024, stands to benefit greatly from Sainz's experience and technical knowledge. Their collaboration is expected to push the entire team to new heights, with both drivers working closely to ensure the car's development aligns with their needs and driving styles. As Williams gears up for the 2025 season, all eyes are on their car launch scheduled for February 14th at Silverstone. The team plans to showcase the FW47 in a special one-off livery, building anticipation for what could be their most competitive machine in years. This launch comes just 4 days before Formula One's first-ever collective season launch event in London, where all 10 teams and 20 drivers will be present. The timing of Williams' launch is significant, occurring before teams are allowed to showcase their permanent 2025 color schemes at the official season launch at London's O2 Arena on February 18th. This strategic move allows Williams to generate buzz around their new car and sponsorship deal while still adhering to F1's new launch regulations. Looking ahead to the 2025 season, expectations for Williams are cautiously optimistic. While it's unrealistic to expect them to challenge for championships immediately, the team is setting its sights on consistent points finishes and regular appearances in the midfield battles. With the right combination of technical improvements, strategic planning, and driver performance, occasional podium challenges are not out of the question. Since Williams' most recent victory at the 2012 Spanish Grand Prix with Pastor Maldonado, they've experienced a gradual decline, punctuated by brief periods of competitiveness. The 2025 season could mark the beginning of a new era for Williams, reminiscent of their dominant days in the 1980s and 1990s. The Atlassian sponsorship deal fits perfectly into James Valls' long-term vision for Williams. Valls, who took over as team principal in 2023, has been working tirelessly to rebuild the team's infrastructure and competitiveness. This high-profile partnership not only provides immediate financial benefits, but also signals to the wider F1 community that Williams is serious about returning to the front of the grid.